Hello, my name is Jacob Hopkins, and I'm joined today by my colleague Veronica McGurran. We're excited to talk to you about the creation of an instruction toolkit for librarian and archivist instructors at the University of Virginia's Small Special Collections Library. Teaching is an essential responsibility of many archivists and librarians working in an academic archive or a special collections library. The Small Special Collections Library at the University of Virginia hosts around 70 instruction sessions each academic semester for undergraduate and graduate classes, as well as K through 12 and community groups. The instruction load is divided amongst library staff, including 3 archivists who have instructional duties in their position titles, plus collection curators, reference librarians, and others. Because not all library staff members involved in instruction have had formal training in instructional design or pedagogy, we created an internal instruction toolkit to support and empower library staff in designing and delivering effective instruction sessions. This toolkit is a centralized repository of resources and best practices. It is especially useful for orienting new staff members to instructional duties and for reminding staff who do not teach as often of best practices. We hope that our instruction toolkit can serve as a model for institutions looking to grow their instruction program and foster a supportive community of practice amongst library and archives instructors. It was important to choose a format for our toolkit that suited the kinds of tools we wanted to share and organize. We chose to upload our toolkit's resources to Microsoft SharePoint, which is UVA's recommended platform for file storage and collaboration, and we then linked to those files on our library's intranet. The intranet was already a familiar spot where library staff could find documentation for library policies and procedures, so it seemed the most intuitive place to link to our toolkit. Depending on your institution's technological infrastructure, you may also find an online file management and sharing platform such as SharePoint, Box, or Google Drive to be the most suitable format and location for your instruction toolkit. Other potential formats for your toolkit might include an internal research guide, a shared resource library made with reference management tools, or a paper guide or binder. We'll now explain some of the resources we included in our toolkit for archives instructors. Up first is a timeline for preparing for an instruction session. This timeline outlines the tasks that instructors should complete when planning for a class session, as well as their recommended order. Also in the toolkit is an instructor directory, or a list of all special collections instructors and their areas of expertise and interest. This directory is useful when assigning staff to instruction sessions, and it helps instructors identify potential co-teachers or collaborators.
The toolkit contains sample lesson plans to help instructors plan instruction sessions as well as budget their time for in-class activities and discussions. Sample lesson plans include examples of learning objectives that the instructor may borrow and then adapt. The toolkit compiles examples of in-class activities, such as primary source analysis worksheets, to encourage instructors to plan exercises that engage students in active and experiential learning. When an instructor finishes teaching a session, they can share all their files, including their lesson plan, in-class activities, and any slides or related resources, in the toolkit in a section entitled Class Files. These files can be a helpful resource for instructors preparing for a session on a similar topic or those teaching the class in the future. Also included in the toolkit are resources for promoting an inclusive, diverse, equitable, and accessible learning environment. These include principles for universal design for learning, recommendations for language that is inclusive and affirming of all identities, as well as suggestions for activities that prompt students to investigate archival silences and biases. Several staff members at Small Special Collections Library recently participated in a course on trauma-informed approaches to managing archives offered by the Australian Society of Archivists. Our toolkit includes notes and recommendations from that cohort on creating a welcoming classroom environment that supports students as they interact with challenging or offensive collection materials. Our instruction toolkit has helped refine and standardize the library's approaches to designing, delivering, and assessing special collections instruction sessions. It has also served as an essential resource amidst staffing transitions by both orienting new staff to instructional responsibilities and by supporting existing instructors in their efforts to teach effectively. The toolkit strives to make transparent the often unseen or unrecorded labor that goes into archives and special collections instructions and to create camaraderie and communication amongst all archives instructors. For institutions looking to adopt a similar instruction toolkit, we recommend a collaborative approach that involves all instructors. Staff buy-in and input are crucial for creating a usable and useful toolkit. The toolkit should also be a living, evolving resource. Start small with the most pertinent resources and information, and then grow your toolkit out according to your institution's needs, interests, and goals. Thank you for joining us today. We hope you reach out to us with any comments or questions. We would love the opportunity to continue the conversation about how we as archivists and librarians can continue to support one another in our teaching endeavors. Thank you.